Welcome back to Mountain Connections. We are happy to have Recruiter Guy Bill Humbert here in the studio. He's the author of this book and many, many more and more to come. But today we are going to talk all about your brand as an employer. Bill, thanks for being here.
Christine, thank you.
Thanks
It's great to be here.
We're happy to have you and excited to talk about this because it's something I think employees, employers don't necessarily consider until it might be a little too late or until you find yourself in hot water, correct?
You know, the employers are the ones that we're talking about today. And, you know, the question that I have for them is, are you really interested in attracting top talent? And if you are, then you have to create a brand for yourself as an employer. You know, they know it's important to create a brand like I do, Recruiter Guy. They know it's important to create a brand for what it is they're selling. But they don't often think about creating a brand as an employer.
So what are some steps in doing just that?
Well, first of all, you have to understand every company has a brand as an employer. It may be intentional or it may be unintentional. And the unintentional ones are the bad ones.
Yes.
And so the unintentional ones are the people who have left the company either voluntarily or not, and they're not going to say nice things on Glassdoor and other sites about the company. And so you've now built an employer brand. What I suggest that companies do is understand what their mission is as an employer and what their values are. And then maybe on the website at the top of the fold, put our values as an employer, and then have 2 lines and then the hyperlink see more. And that takes them right into the career site where you have your benefits and everything else. So it's important to be telling people, you know, what it is that the company's values are and what they represent, and then show how they act on those.
It is so true. Many times it's those negative reviews because those people are passionate. They want to be heard, and they can do that in a somewhat anonymous way. But it's important for happy employees to also leave reviews, which doesn't always happen.
It doesn't always happen, and they don't even think about it. You know, they're just thinking, you know, I'm working, I'm having fun, I'm making impacts, and they just don't, it doesn't come to mind to go to a Glassdoor or to another site and say, wow, I love working here. This is so exciting for me. And therefore, only the bad things get out.
But it's also important that it's an authentic place, because I think people do, when they're looking for jobs, look at those sites. What am I getting into? So at the same time, it's good to have a little bit of a balance, I would say. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's what nonprofit does your company really want to support? Is it Habitat for Humanity? Is it Toys for Tots? Or do you allow your employees to take one day off every 6 months to go work at whatever nonprofit that they want to support? There's all kinds of ways that companies can show their values. They just don't usually talk about it, and that's important for them to do that.
And ideally, this is for future employees. You want to get the best talent you can, and so by creating a good employer brand, an accurate, honest one, then you can recruit the people you want.
Right, top talent always look at the website, and they look at Glassdoor, and they look at other sites, and they're trying to determine, is this the kind of place that I want to work? And if they see other members of top talent that maybe they've met at conferences or other places working at that company, they want to join them. And therefore, it's really important. Now, one little Recruiter Guy thing, don't put your employees' names on your website. I've recruited them before. So other than that, you know, you can have their photos, and then they have to identify that person. But show that the employees are having fun and making impacts both socially and also in the business environment.
Which is, as we mentioned before, sometimes something that brands are not necessarily thinking of. They're thinking about customers and that aspect of their brand, not so much their employee brands. It's something that is very good to discuss.
It is. It should be really top of mind, especially when the company is trying to recruit new top talent.
Absolutely. I want to know what's next. I kind of teased that there's more coming at the
beginning. There is more coming, and you know, and actually, I made a slight change to my new book. I'm interviewing people who benefit or have benefited from networking. So I've interviewed Dan Clark, who's a Hall of Fame speaker, and asked him, so how does networking benefit you? And he says, every time I want a specific speaking gig, I ask, who do I know? And then network their way in. So I'm going to talk to a couple of CEOs. I'm going to talk to a couple of salespeople who are natural networkers, Dan, some other speakers, and just show that no matter what the industry is, networking will benefit you, not only in your job search, it will also benefit you as you're working.
And I think it's those last minute changes, additions to books that always make it top notch. So I'm impressed that you took the time to step back and think, what does this need? I know it's going to be really excellent. When are you expecting it out?
I expect to finish it now at the end of probably middle of March, and then it'll go to the editor. So it's probably 2 or 3 months out beyond that. And I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about my new website. Jambo John is doing a great job. It's probably halfway through the programming now, so now I'm able at least to see some content that's going to look pretty.
You never rest.
No.
Always doing things, doing more, and helping others get that best job for their needs. Where can we get more information?
RecruiterGuy.com is the best place, and you can always email me at recruiterguy@msn.com.
Perfect, will do. Well, thanks so much, Bill, for stopping by. Excited to hear more next month, and really happy to talk about employee brands. I think that's very important.
Thank you, Christine. It was fun.
All right, check out Bill Humbert online. You want to get this book. There's more coming, as I teased at the beginning. Also, think about your employer brand. It's very important to consider all those aspects. We have more coming up on this Business Wednesday right after this.